Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is another makeup tutorial, but this time I am including hair as well. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and let's get started. So first off, I started with detangling Iman's hair using just some water and conditioner. Conditioner helps to soften natural hair when you have natural curly hair. So I use that just so that it's not painful when I am doing her hairstyle. I then went into doing the half up, half down ponytail, which is quite hard to do on natural hair, guys. I'm used to doing it on a wig and it was a bit tricky, but eventually I got it together. I used some edge control gel as well as a holding spray from Tresemme to make sure that the hair is not, there aren't any flyaways on the hair and that the hair is nice and neat and tight. I then used Got To Be gel, the black bottle, the tube, to do her edges in the front because I find that when I use other edge gels, by the end of the day humidity does get to the edges and it makes the hairstyle not look how I want it to look. I then used a black elastic band to tighten up and reinforce the pony that I had tied, and then just cut off the loose ends at the back just to make sure that the hairstyle stays put and firm by the end of the day. And stays neat the way that I had made it. Okay, so Iman has like really coarse hair, so I had to go in again with some water and use some conditioner to detangle the hair. As you guys see, the hair does get a bit tan, but I realized that after some time the hair does frizz up again, which meant that I need to lock in the moisture with something because clearly the hair was absorbing all of the water, and that's why I use this anti-frizz serum from L'Oreal. It's a really good serum. It's really light, it has no oil in it, so you don't get like that wet look even when your hair is dry, and that's what I used. And after that I used oil-based hairspray from L'Oreal as well. That was really good with like keeping the shine in the hair and giving the hair like a more healthier look, a more shinier look. I took off the band, which I put on later again because I really wanted like that flat laid hair, that really flat look. And then I went in with a holding spray from Tresemme just to make sure that the edges laid down slick. Onto makeup, I started off with the aloe vera serum that I have raved about, and I just massaged that into her skin to start off with the skin prep. I followed that with the Eucerin oil control just because I knew that she needed to have this makeup on until nighttime, and so I used an oil control as a base primer. This will make sure that the makeup doesn't crease and doesn't start to shine earlier on in the day. So because she has a bit of like firm eyebrow hair, I used a gel to first control and lay down the eyebrow hairs before I went in and drew her eyebrow. She already has super full eyebrows, so I didn't have to do much. I mostly just did filling in just so that when I contour the eyebrow it's very definite and you can see exactly where it is. I then used a yellow corrector from LA Girl mixed with a Chanel concealer to do her eyebrows because I felt like I wasn't getting the right tone. And then I concealed under the eyebrow, and then I used the Kryolan foundation palette that you guys saw in my previous video to contour the top of her eyebrows as well. I usually do this part later on, but for some odd reason I just did it before and it actually worked out either way. So whatever your preference is, do what works for you. After this, I went in with the Revolution eyeshadow palette and basically just added on, built on the color just to add dimension onto the face. So I always start off with the darker color, then blend it out with something lighter, and then finally use like a darker tone to sort of connect the two colors together. And that's what I did here. I was going for a more orange tone. She's not a lady that likes doing makeup a lot, and she doesn't like doing like colors and things like that, so I did want to stick to more neutral tones, even though I really wanted to play around with color. But I was like, let me just do something that I know the person will like and not something that I would prefer to do. So I then went in with a darker eyeshadow just to line her eye. She has a very cat eye, so I like to accentuate that shape. I used the Maven Collection eyeshadow primer to prime her eyes before I added a more cream based color eyeshadow on the lid of her eye. To smoke out the eye, I used a black eyeliner and then smudged it out with black eyeshadow just to create a bit of a smoky eye. And then I used a Lancome Intense mascara before I put on her eyelashes. The eyelashes were from Mimi Q again, and the mascara as well is from our previous video. Okay, I'm getting the hang of it now. This is my first voiceover. So the lashes, I did cut them a bit shorter because her eyes are really small, and I didn't want the lashes to overpower her eyes, you know, when it looks a bit crazy. So I did cut down the lashes on the ends, and I used a Essence Cosmetics liquid liner. Over here, again, I used the Kryolan Cream Foundation palette, and then I also used a Chanel liquid foundation. I'm trying to figure out if I should add the products within the video or maybe next time. But yeah, I used that foundation on her face. She also doesn't need that much coverage because her skin is really good. So Chanel foundations, I would say, are for that type of skin tone. They aren't really good on coverage, but I did like the tone and it matched her skin really well. I then went in with just a darker color from the same foundation palette to go around her face and add some dimension to her face. And then to highlight under her eyes, I used a yellow corrector from LA Girl and mixed it in with the Benefit No Cake concealer that I use on myself as well, actually.
Intellectual murder people edition. Kakam fire full of gun like Remington. Fully charged up, he got fi kill a man. At the gang fi me gang pussy run up if you bad. Kryptonite coming out of the most fighting.
I then blended this out using a foundation brush. Guys, always make sure that you blend out your makeup correctly. It makes a world of difference. Like dabbing in and not brushing out is always going to make your makeup sit really well on your skin. I think that's the problem when people have their foundation on and it looks kind of off. Always dab your foundation onto your face, even if you're using a sponge or whatever you're using, and use an angled brush when you're going underneath your eye and a more wider brush all along your face, just so that you cover more area quickly, but also so that you get a smoother finish all around. To bake, I used a baked powder from Chick Cosmetics. I got this powder a while ago, but I just never get clients that are this light very often. So I was really happy that I was able to use that powder. And that is what I baked her face with. I went in with it first and let it bake underneath her eyes while I went around the rest of her face. And then later blended that in. I used Maybelline compact powder to go around her. I went in with a nice rosy colored blush on her cheeks, and then I just used a setting spray to set underneath her eyes as well, because I really wanted that powder to set in before I remove the excess powder once the spray has dried. I used a highlighter from MAC to highlight her cheekbones as well as her nose.
How you know about gunmanship? Gonna feel it from them started. Babylon Spain town in the flying for gun for medicine and your mamas. How you know about gunmanship?
And then just went in to do a bit of cleanup from the excess powder that was left over, because I felt like it had set enough.
You must be sick. And I 17 I drop in this 45.
I went back with my mascara, the same one that I used in the beginning, just to do her underlashes. She has really long underlashes, so that was really nice. It really made her eyes pop out more and really created the look that I wanted underneath. Usually you'll have to add strip lashes, but she didn't need that. And then I just did a little teardrop with the same highlight that I used before. This just makes your eyes look more whimsical, you know? It makes you look just more fantasy. I lined her lips using actually a cream concealer, a darker tone, because I felt like the liners that I had were going to make the lip line just a little bit darker than I wanted it to be. So I did want this more toffee tone. And then I went into the middle with some concealer mixed in with a pinkish colored matte lip. And then afterwards I topped it off with a nice gloss, my Mimi Q gloss that I love so much. And that was the end of the look. Oh no, that was not the end of the look. I then used obviously my setting sprays. I like to use both of them, makes the makeup last extra long. But look at how gorgeous she looked, guys. I was really happy with this look. It ended up looking beautiful, even though I really wanted to do color, but I'm overall like super happy with how it looked. And let me know what you guys think of the look. Please comment, like, and subscribe to my page, and I'll be back with another video soon.
Crazy.